A second poem recited on this day was no less harsh.
Ishak, in faith I do not fear the army of fate.
Islam is fatalistic because Manat was the goddess of fate.
He gave us the blood of their best men to drink when we led our army out against them. We were a great army with a pungent smell. We attacked continuously wherever our enemy is found.
Even the most brutal, violent, and ungodly regimes to prowl our planet would have been repulsed by a God who
gave us the blood of their best men to drink.
You'd think such scripture would prompt a response from those who claim that today's bloodthirsty Islamic terrorists have corrupted their religion. Next we find the apostle in a heroic moment.
Ishak, one of our companions told us that the apostle walked past a woman whom Khalid,
the perfect Islamic terrorist,
had killed. He sent word to Khalid and forbade him to kill more children, women, and slaves.
It's hard to sell a corpse into slavery, and this Bukhari hadith contradicts the moral message.
The prophet passed by us and was asked whether it was permissible to attack infidels at night with the probability of exposing their women and children to danger. The prophet replied, "Their women and children are from them."
While they were out being religious, Allah's cavalry elected to terrorize the good folks of Nakhla, Atas, and Saad. But they began the fun by capturing and assassinating Bijad first.
Ishak, Allah's apostle said, "If you get hold of Bijad, don't let him escape, for he has done something evil." Tabari, while fighting the Banu Saad, Muslim horsemen seized Bijad. They herded his family around him like cattle and treated them roughly.
All the while,
Tabari, the captives of Hunain, along with their possessions, were brought to the messenger. He ordered that their captives, animals, and their possessions be taken to Jirana and held there in custody.
To commemorate their captivity, a Muslim gloated,
Ishak, Allah and His servants overwhelmed every coward. Allah honored us and made our religion victorious. We were glorified in the worship of the compassionate God who destroyed them all. He humiliated them in the worship of Satan. By what our apostle recites from the book and by our swift horses, I liked the punishment the infidels received. Killing them was sweeter than drink. We galloped among them, panting for the spoil. With our loud-voiced army, the apostle's squadron advanced into the fray.
This stuff makes Mein Kampf seem mild. Imagine a religion saying killing them was sweeter than drink. We galloped among them, panting for the spoil. With our loud-voiced army, the apostles' squadron advanced into the fray. Well, another Muslim sang,
Ishak, crushing the heads of the infidels and splitting their skulls with sharp swords, we continually thrust and cut at the enemy. Blood gushed from their deep wounds as the battle wore them down. We conquered, bearing the prophet's fluttering standard,
his war banner.
Our cavalry was submerged in rising dust, and our spears quivered, but by us the prophet gained victory.
Not to be outdone, another of Mohammed's companions recited some very illuminating lines.
Ishak, Allah's religion is the religion of Muhammad. We are satisfied with it. It contains guidance and laws. By it he sets our affairs right.
I agree with the first Muslims.
Allah's religion is the religion of Muhammad.
Still incriminating themselves, we read in the Sirah, Ishak, page 580,
Our strong warriors obey his orders to the letter. By us, Allah's religion is undeniably strong.
Islam was not spread by word of mouth, by reason or by the kind deeds it inspired. Islam was propagated by the sword.
You would think when our horses gallop with bits in their mouth that the sound of demons are among them.
Yes, indeed. The sounds of demons are among the Muslims when they fight jihad. Wherever Muslim militants are found, loud-mouthed demons are close at hand.
The day we trod down the unbelievers, there was no deviation or turning from the apostles' order. During the battle, the people heard our exhortations to fight, and the smashing of skulls by swords that sent heads flying. We severed necks with a warrior's blow. Often we left the slain cut to pieces, and a widow crying, "Alas!" over her mutilated husband. 'Tis Allah, not man, we seek to please.
Just when you thought Islam couldn't get any worse, it spews ever more vitriolic violence in your face. From Sirah to Sunnah to Surah, Islam is putrid. Abbas also composed the following lines. I want you to appreciate the nature of those who, along with Mohammad, invented Islam. While Ibn Ishaq recorded a dozen pages of poetry from this day, I have tried to sift through the rubble to bring you the lines that best illuminate the mentality of these first Muslims.
Ishaq, we helped Allah's apostle, angry on his account, with 1,000 warriors. We carried his flag on the end of our lances. We were his helpers, protecting his banner in deadly combat. We dyed it with blood, for that was its color. We were the Prophet's right arm in Islam. We were his bodyguards before other troops served him. We helped him against his opponents. Allah richly rewarded that fine Prophet Muhammad.
Islam immortalized one of its best, the woman-killing, child-abusing, genocidal, tax-collecting Khalid.
Ishaq, since you have made Caliph chief of the army and promoted him, he has become a chief indeed, leading an army guided by Allah. Firmly clad in mail, warriors with lances leveled, we are a strong force, not unlike a rushing torrent. We smite the wicked while we swear an oath to Muhammad, fighting in the quest of booty. Ishaq, red blood flowed because of our rage.
No matter the translation, no matter the interpretation, these men were as bad as their religion. Attacking, killing, enslaving, plundering, and terrorizing the Hawazin, Taif, Nakhla, Atas, and Sad villages was insufficient.
Tabari, the messenger and his companions went directly to Taif.
This was the town between Mecca and Yathrib whose
rabble
had
mocked and stoned the Prophet,
following the Quraysh bargain and the satanic verses.
Muhammad encamped there for a fortnight, waging war. The townsfolk fought the Muslims from behind the fort. None came out in the open. All of the surrounding people surrendered and sent their delegations to the Prophet. After besieging Taif for 20 days, Muhammad left and halted at Jirana, where the captives of the Hunayn were held with their women and children. It is alleged that those captives taken numbered 6,000 with women and children.
Since only 100 Muslims fought, overcoming 60-1 odds is a little far-fetched. But there is an important line in the opening hadith on the siege of Taif. The first Muslims had been so vicious that
all of the surrounding people surrendered. Tabari, delegations of Hawazin came to the Prophet and embraced Islam. Therefore he set their women and children free and decided to make the lesser pilgrimage from Jirana.
Freedom had never been part of this man's vocabulary. Embracing Islam was tantamount to surrender, bowing in submission to Muhammad's authority and will. So what's up? Simple economics, actually. There were only 4 towns within walking distance with enough money to buy slaves: Mecca, Yathrib, Kabar, and Taif. 1 had been invaded, 2 conquered, and the 4th was undergoing siege. There simply wasn't a market. Slaves need to be sheltered, fed, and watered. They are a liability to a profiteer who has no means to trade them for money.